Well, this is fucking depressing. WWE's released 9 more people. It seems like they're all NXT releases. And that's what this video is going to be about. Like, I got home from work. I'm thinking to myself, all right, I'm home. I'm going to get changed. I got, Arizona iced tea in my cup. I'm going to, watch, the second and third rounds of the NFL draft and just have a nice night. And I come home to these releases. So here are my thoughts. Make sure to drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications so you don't miss out on future uploads, and let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. So, the list of released wrestlers this time around: Dexter Lumis, Dakota Kai, Harland, aka Parker Boudreaux, Persia Pirotta, Malcolm Bivens, Raelyn Divine, Mila Malani, Draco Anthony, Sanjana George, and Paige Prinzivalli. Divine, Malani, George, and Prinzivalli, I have no idea who they are, so I can't really give my thoughts on them being released. Draco Anthony, I've seen him, on NXT here and there. Never really thought anything of him, so I can't really give my thoughts on him either. But the other 5, I absolutely have thoughts for. And I want to start this by reading a screenshot of the Fightful report that somebody posted in one of the Twitter group chats I'm in, which basically reads: John Laurinaitis, obligatory fuck John Laurinaitis, by the way, and whatnot. Made the cuts and cited budget cuts as the reason. Like, bro, budget cuts is a fucking excuse at this point, and it has been for quite a while because y'all are making a shit ton of money. So unless you're lying to us about that, it ain't budget cuts. It's you have no fucking creative direction for some of these people, and you just want to fucking cut loose. Like, fuck off. But they have, at least for these guys, they have 30-day non-compete clauses instead of the 90-day compete clauses that you get on the main roster. Unless, of course, what's his name? Unless, of course, you're Aleister Black, who didn't get his non-compete clause changed when he went to the main roster. That is still funny looking back, by the way. But the report continues by saying that Fightful was told that Malcolm Bivens is now, Stokely Hathaway again, had made it abundantly clear he didn't plan on coming back. It actually mentions that he was going to not come back last year, but he did resign as of the, due to the pitch for the Diamond Mine stable, which it's going to be interesting to see what happens to them moving forward without him. But he got offered a new deal earlier in the year, and he said he wasn't going to be re-signing. The article also says that Dakota Kai was said to have seen the release coming and had indicated that she wasn't planning on renewing either. And as for Harland, he had signed after a lot of hype, but apparently coaches and officials said that they didn't feel like he had progressed well enough in the ring to their liking, which sucks because I honestly liked the pairing of Harland and Joe Gacy, especially when you consider that Joe Gacy is now feuding with with Braun. So it's been weird to see Harland not there the last couple of weeks, and now we know why. As far as he goes, I wish him the best of luck. He's still wicked young, so I have a feeling maybe he'll come back to WWE one day. It just depends. Maybe when he gets better in the ring, because that's basically what it sounds like the basis of his releases for. Lumis and Pirotta, seeing both of them go really sucks. Lumis, you had the whole index thing last year, which I think was funny as fuck. You had the wedding and whatnot. I think after the wedding, with the wedding having happened and then Johnny Gargano going away at the end of his contract, and to be with his wife, who was pregnant at the time, it's just like without, and then Theory's on the main roster with Hartwell and Lumis, they're by themselves. It's like a mixed bag, and I think post-Index wedding, I don't know if creative knew what necessarily to do. Then of course, Indy was, within the tag team with Persia, and then that got broken up earlier in the year because Duke Hudson got involved. And then, of course, at Stand and Deliver, it was, fans got to vote for, who was the better couple, which Index, of course, won. And then it seemed like as of late, the two were coming together as a foursome, as a group. But I think for both of them, this one kind of boils down to creative not really having much of a direction. But like with Lumis, it feels like there's more that could be done with him, and I think Pirotta was pretty good too. Maybe it's just a product of, if they stayed a tag team, her and Indy stayed as a tag team, maybe she'd still be there. I don't know. I can't really say. Bivens, Bivens was funny as fuck. The dude gave us memes in NXT with some of his facial expressions and shit. He was corny as fuck, but it was the good kind of corny, and it absolutely sucks to see him go. I wish him the best of luck, of course. I wish all of them the best of luck, obviously, but I already spoke about Harland. The one release out of this group that bothers me the most, though, is Dakota Kai. Not just because she got let go, but with her getting let go out of NXT and Raquel Gonzalez being on the main roster, and this is no shot at Raquel. I have no problem with her, but it solidifies in my mind that WWE always looked at Dakota as a sidekick, as playing second fiddle to everybody else, specifically Raquel Gonzalez. Now, don't get me wrong. The Raquel Dakota pairing, for the amount of time that they were together in NXT, I would say that was a great pairing. It's probably one of the better, non necessarily tag team pairings that, you have, or that as WWE's had. And of course, Dakota helped Raquel, win the women's title and all of that. But when Dakota finally turned on Raquel, that was a huge moment. But when Dakota lost at Stand and Deliver last year, it was like, what the fuck are we doing here? Because Dakota absolutely should have fucking won that. She turned on Raquel because she wanted to prove, in my mind, because she wanted to prove that, she was just as good, if not better than Raquel. And, she didn't want to be the sidekick anymore. She had enough. And that's perfectly respectable. Dakota should have won at Stand and Deliver. She should have won the fucking title. And of course, Raquel ended up dropping it to Mandy thanks to Dakota. Dakota turning heel and all that shit. But then afterward, it's like, I don't know. And then now going into the Women's Dusty Rhodes Classic tag team tournament, her getting paired with Wendy was interesting, a little weird maybe, but it turned out to be a pretty fun pairing, and there was also a little bit of a storyline there with, Dakota not trusting Wendy at first, but growing to trust her. And then, they get all the way to the finals. Of course, they end up losing to Io and Dakota, or Io and KLR. Well, Kaylee Ray's now out of the fire, but regardless, who then took the tag title shot and made the match between Mandy and Cora at Stand and Deliver Fatal 4-Way. But regardless, after that, then Wendy gets taken out. Raquel comes back. Her and Dakota team up one more time, and they win the tag titles at Stand and Deliver, which on the pre-show, no less. And then lose them back to Toxic Attraction on NXT. So it's as if the win at Stand and Deliver didn't matter. Raquel gets moved up to the main roster. And then it's like Dakota has basically what her last match was a loss to Mandy for the NXT Women's title. And it's just like there's just this empty hole left behind, in my opinion, because there's so much more that, if given the chance, Dakota could have done. Like, I just, this is the one release that hurts the most, because Dakota always played second fiddle in NXT. And sure, she got her wins and whatnot. Yeah, she held the tag titles with Raquel twice, actually. I think they were the first. Were they the first? I think they were the first women's tag title holders. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I think they were. But like again, it's just it's just like you see that release, and it's like there's just a hole left behind because it's like you just know that there was so much more that she could have done if WWE gave her the chance. So yeah, it sucks to see them all go. I wish them all the best. Um, I know Dakota has her Twitch channel, so um, you can go check that out. Keep up with her with that and whatnot. As for the others, I don't know, but god damn it, WWE, you had to go and fucking release people again. Really? Tis a shame.